Sound muted.
Alright, hello and welcome. Here we are today on our next adventure, beginning episode 4. This is our 4th session, technically. Our 3rd of actual progressing story. Our adventurers had just entered the dragon hatchery of the Raiders camp at Chapter 3 of Hoard of the Dragon Queen adventure. They'd managed to enter the barracks and bring their assault to many of the cultists standing guard. They found an unlikely ally, an unexpected ally, I guess would be more accurate, as they heard through magical means a collapse in what they've now found to be Frulam's office. Looks like she has escaped and then collapsed her escape tunnel behind her. They had just kind of started ruffling through her maps and things when we ended the session last time. They'd kind of read through them, and so now they're going to begin moving forward and see how that kind of turns out. If the antics of the rogue who's off in the other room, if that causes any trouble, or see what the interactions of, now that they have a breather, this new person, how they're going to integrate that new person, see how that goes for them. So, alright, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to start it up now. Get to them, see how they're doing.
Sound resumed. Insufficient permissions.
Alright, so here we are. Beginning anew. Our paladin is going to be having to do a little meditation. He's very discomforted by the news of what is going on, and he's going to be preoccupied, at least for a little bit, as he's traveling, trying to get back home to make it to the session. He's going to spend his time meditating and reading over his own notes, as well as those that you have just discovered, and what you now know is Frulam's office by the purple regalia that you had found in her locked chest. So with that, as we were just taking off, Tiax was investigating that fungus-filled room, looking over the edge, trying to see how things looked coming from the east, from further into the actual cavern itself. And you guys were digging through and riling through, and then just kind of coming accustomed to our new person who has potentially joined the party. So we have, now that we've had a chance for a breather, perhaps you can carry on that conversation.
I'm still a big giant direwolf, so I'm gonna go over and sniff Karth. I want to see if he has any of the same smells on him as I smelled that were going into that tunnel.
Into which tunnel? Oh, into
the one that was collapsed.
Okay, yep. That. Alright, go ahead and roll some perception. Since you're using the smells, it'd be advantage for your direwolf. Oops. I mean to do that.
I just want to kind of stand there and be like, wet dog knows this is happening.
You have a very good sense from this person. You can smell a lot of the humanoid influence from the cultist that you had just finished fighting, but that seems to be all over him, as though he may have been actually carried, and so that smell being literally all over them, it's very unlikely to have been there and without a very long embrace of some sort. And And as far as the actual that smell that you were getting from the tunnel itself, no, there's none of that in recognition. You do get a keen sense of his own, like his personal scent, for whatever future purposes that might hold.
Okay, then I'm gonna go on front of the tunnel where we came in and sit down and just look at him.
Almost somewhat kind of guarding the doorway, so the...
Mm-hmm.
Okay. While they're all investigating this other room, what's TX doing? Up there on those stairs, or around those stairs, that ledge.
I'm just going over my notes, figuring out what the hell I was doing.
I had thought that you had been brave enough to actually take a step onto the...
He was on the first step, I think, there, laying down, wasn't he?
Yes, that sounds like he was trying to wait in anticipation to surprise anyone that came around the corner, I think.
Yeah, since they've all gone, I'm gonna shift my attention more towards the fungal room.
So at the moment, I'm kind of looking at this collapse over here, and I wonder if, through my knowledge of magic, if should do maybe an int check. I'm looking at my Arcania here. I'm just wondering if I detect like a certain signature with this magic, or if I have any insight into anything.
Okay, yeah, you have your detect magic spell still concentrating. I think you had that when you came into the room. So you could roll an Arcana check to see like the residuals of magic that you did find all around the tunnel, as to maybe what type of magic it is, if you could recognize, identify what kind of spell or anything like that. This is definitely it's a little bit of abjuration and transmutation. Transmutation being the majority of the school of magic that this came from. This kind of gives you the insight that it is something that is a magical trigger that, when triggered, caused the area around to transmute and to spill the earth to collapse the tunnel. It's like a it's either a type of magical trap to trap someone, or to block, just as a blocking mechanism.
Hey, Jack, can you give me the room description for the fungus room? Right. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, if you recall when we talked about before, there was the very large mushrooms that are that kind of line the very first bit, and there's a path that kind of goes to the left and to the right of them.
Could I see if there's any like tracks or anything like that?
That'd be a survival, yeah.
Oh, sweet.
Bam! Natural 20. Okay, yeah. So if you're kind of scanning around and you've got your special dark vision, or special just vision in general, you get a pretty clear view of the landscape. Although most of it is hard-packed dirt, it's hard to make out much. But you can kind of see how like the way the dust and has settled, the way that there's moisture dripping from the walls and everything. There still seems to be a clear path to the left and right, and it is hard to make out any actual tracks, but it's very easy to see that the left path has a lot more wear than the right path.
Okay, I'm gonna make note of that then.
I think Orange is gonna go hang out with watch his back.
He
Actually,
was
lighting
hiding.
a torch.
Alright, I'm gonna...
And actually, I wouldn't let him through.
Morn? The monk? You wouldn't let the monk through?
Right.
Okay, so like you try to, so as Morn tries to kind of squeeze by through, you're just gonna, with your very
just move in
large
front of
direwolf,
him.
you're just kind of, plug the hole that is the tunnel. So if he tries to go to the right around you, you just kind of shift your backside to just plug that direction so that he can't make it through.
Mm-hmm.
Is Fane still stealthed? Do I perceive her?
She was when she was in the other room. Let's see, I don't have the log from before. I'd imagine she still is. You could roll your perception. If I can go ahead and re-roll your stealth to see. And Wolfen, I'm pretty sure that Fane has tried to talk to you, but you haven't responded to her.
I responded.
Oh, you did. Okay. Yep. Even you don't know if you're very much concentrating on the magical auras that intrigue you from the collapsed tunnel, and your investigation has kind of left you oblivious to your surroundings.
Alright, Drad, this roll, well, it's gonna be nothing, but it was to see if I could discern a reason why there's heavy tracks left and less tracks right. So I'm guessing I didn't get that.
As you make movement on the stairs, trying to investigate, you move from one side to the next. As you do, the staircase collapses into a ramp.
Okay, getting ready for my acrobatics then. Jeez.
So the stairs were kind of set up in a way that you could tell now that you've kind of activated it, that if the wrong steps were taken, that it would collapse and kind of make almost like a smooth slide down.
Okay. So did they just like a little kobold funky slide, or? Wee.
So as as it kind of collapses underneath you, you try to catch your balance, and go ahead and roll your acrobatics. So with this, you manage to catch her balance, but you're still on a moss slick slide, and so now you're essentially surfing down, holding yourself upright, surfing down this ramp that was caused. You get spilled, crashing. Well, not crashing in the normal sense. That
I rolled a 20.
that
Should be no crashing.
as you kind of slide, elegantly to a skidding stop, just barely with your hand braced in front of you, bumping into one of the mushrooms. One of the 4 large mushrooms. As you do, it begins to move.
Would this be a thing that we could hear, or are we too far away?
You might be able to hear him. You go ahead and try. They wouldn't be able to. They might be able to hear the stairs collapsing. So everybody, go ahead and roll some perceptions that's in here to see if you can hear that. The rumble from the other room.
Would that still be with advantage?
The direwolf has advantage to
Hearing and smell.
smelling. Yeah, they would definitely be hearing the rumble from the other room. Yeah, so Morn and Rowan both, through slight, Morn feels like the slight tremors in the actual ground itself, but you can actually hear the rocks kind of collapsing on those stairs from the other side. Those are the only 2 that does.
But with my roll, I just look up from my magical train studying here and just go, huh?
Karth, the inattentive.
Okay, if they start to move and I notice that, I'm gonna scramble the crap up try and scramble back up the stair/ramp. And if I have to make a jump, I will.
Alright, roll initiative.
Oh. Oh, no. Ah! Mushrooms!
We're all rolling initiative, right?
Yeah, everyone go ahead and do so. Everyone not in the room is obviously surprised, and then not everyone even heard or has been convinced that there's anything to react to, but we'll go ahead and get it for the sake of knowing when people go.
Rowan's in should be, or the direwolf wild shape then should be 17. Or, yeah.
10?
Oh yeah, 10.
Yep. Okay, we got that fixed.
Thank you.
What in the world?
Can I roll something to see if I know anything about this something? Like what these things are?
Nature. Disadvantage.
Yeah.
There we go, it worked that time. Okay, good deal. Yeah, to you, they were giant mushrooms. Now they're giant mushrooms that are coming alive.
Huh. Oh yeah, I should not be prone anymore.
Yeah. Fix that too.
And where the crap did my other effect go? I should still have on my armor of Agathis from earlier.
I did not affect that, so... What's the
Ooh,
duration on that armor?
An hour.
Yeah, so just reapply it.
Pretty sure it's an hour. Let me double check that. Yeah, 1 hour. Oh, right. It's not an actual effect. It's just fucking temporary hit points. Okay. That should give myself a...
Oh yeah, and that doesn't stack with... We found that it didn't stack with the other temporary
It just
points.
takes the highest.
Just
Yeah,
takes the highest.
take the highest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. With a great shimmy, you could see some kind of actual movement out of all four of these large fungi that were up front as they kind of shudder, and you see bits of dust and spores fall to the ground beneath them as they shimmy forward.
Whoa. Multi-attacking sons of bitches.
So
Okay.
with its body, it just starts, parts of it kind of come off, almost like appendages, and they reach over and they try to just draw their hand, what would be like their hand at the end of this appendage, is just kind of stroked across this part of your arm. The first one you kind of you just move away from. The second one slides across, and you can feel just the very touch of the creature of this particular appendage. You can still feel it start cracking on your skin and making large, like a large spot, like almost like a rash on your arm, right where it caresses it just barely. And that entire area starts to crack on your arm as the skin becomes taut and dry, and almost as though it's rotting.
Ah, I'm allergic. If holy crap hits. The first time it hit me, it should take 5 cold damage
From
the armor of Agathis.
Oh, that is an actual effect? Okay, so
Yep.
we should probably create an effect to do that.
It doesn't have it. I mean, it just has the spell just has 5 cold on it, and that apply to anything that hits me.
Is it for each time it hits you? Or is it...
Anytime it hits me, and when the thing is active. So if I still have temporary hit points, when it attacks, then it takes cold. So
Is it 5? Is it a flat
just
5?
straight 5. Straight 5. So which one was that? That was
Still the same one.
Phylofungus. 3. Nice.
Yep. And then so I'll apply 10. Wait. So the first one applied necrotic damage. You still had temporary hit points which were absorbed.
So it should apply it again.
So it applied it again. Okay. Yep. So it's at already applied it, but
Oh.
and it is your turn.
So I'm gonna be like, mushrooms! And I'm gonna try and get the hell away. So I'm gonna disengage and try to run back up the stairs. / ramp.
Okay.
What do you want me to do for that?
So let's do acrobatics again. That seems like what you would do up a ramp. Yeah, quite. You're only barely hindered in your actual movement as you actually kind of half climb, half just run on top of the ramp at the same time as you scramble your way up. I'm going to say the movement is half across that being difficult terrain. But you do manage to make it without sliding or falling or anything like that.
So I think that's it then.
Okay. Because you don't
yeah.
have your. That's right. You're not. You don't have the cunning action part yet.
Not yet. Nope.
Okay.
I don't think I have any other bonus actions that I could do. Yeah. Nope.
A little zoom in on this. Okay. You can see as all four of them have started their shimmying, as you know, they kind of letting the dust settle around them, kind of shaking off bits of themselves. One fungus kind of lurches forward. The first one that you had kind of slid into and just barely stopped by placing your hand on it. You can see that as it starts to lurch forward, it's very, very slow in its movement. It's very slow and deliberate. It can't. It kind of has to uproot itself, and the bottom just kind of creeps along on. Like it doesn't actually have unlike the appendage for its arm, it doesn't actually have legs. So it's just very amorphously moving the bottom of it to kind of rock itself forward. The appendage kind of comes off of the left side, and this time it elongates much further than the other one did. Trying to, this time, grace just the side of your neck. After having scrambled all the way up here, though, as it just kind of slowly tries to swipe right across the side of your neck, you manage to kind of duck down just underneath it as it's very slowly reels that appendage back to itself. All right, now back to our next turn order. People would be less surprised about. How would Morn react to the crashing sound from the other room?
And possibly the girlish screams.
Possibly.
Possibly.
He might have heard me go, mushrooms!
I'm like, he's having a good time. Nah.
Or, ooh, he's hungry, he wants mushrooms.
The big crashing sound, though, kind of caught my attention. And Morn had already stated that he wanted to go check on Tiax and make sure he wasn't in trouble.
That's true.
Because he's kind of a newbie.
At the moment, though, the direwolf is still blocking your path.
Yeah.
Although she did also hear the crash from the other room.
Yeah, can I let him through? Because I want to go that way too.
Okay, yes. Yeah, you can definitely let him through.
Doop, doop, doop.
So,
40, and then I'll dash the rest.
okay.
Ta-da. Something like that. And that's my torch. Guess I can see TX, but I don't know what's going on.
And you were
I
saying,
guess-
as part of your movement, you're gonna light a torch. Is that what you're saying?
No, I still had a torch.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You're the one with the torch. Okay.
And Karth has the other one.
Yeah.
I thought Direwolf had one in her mouth.
No, she gave
Oh,
it.
I gave it to Karth.
She gave it to Karth.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
That'd be the end of my turn.
So when you take off, are you gonna say anything, or are you just gonna take off sprinting, like hearing the crash? Like, is that your kind of just like a, and then just take off running?
No, I kind of said all that stuff earlier when you said we heard the noise. But I told everyone we should go check it out. Make sure Tiax isn't in trouble in one of the other rooms.
Oh yeah, there it is. Yep. Yeah, I had just missed it in the rolls. Yep. So Morn just races past you. What do you do now?
I go, woo! And then I take off after him.
Alright, so you're gonna squeeze back into the little tunnel.
Yeah, and I have 50-foot movement speed. I'm gonna dash. So in the tunnel, it's twice, like it takes twice my movement.
Right. So, let's see. 10, 20, 30, and then going out is fine. That's 35. It's just when you enter the space. So, so there's your first one.
So that would be like 55. 60. Now does Morn let me through?
I don't know if he'd want to stop you, but that's up to him.
Yeah, you're kind of big. Or like, meh.
Yeah.
Who's against the wall, let you through kind of thing.
So you'll have to squeeze kind of around him for one more movement. And now.
So did I get to about there?
So that was 85, 95, yeah, maybe 5 more. Yep.
Okay, and that's all the things I can do. But you'll have to advance me again, because I can't do that for my wild shape.
Oh, yep, okay. Yeah, just remind me, as I definitely forget. Okay, so Fane's gonna walk over to Karth and be like, we should go. Pointing with the rapier.
Alright, let's see if I can figure out how to shoot this thing. Yeah. We're gonna go for...
So be careful. I think, okay, so this is one thing that I was going to double check about the definition of melee. For, like, the disadvantage on a ranged attack roll. If it specifies 5 feet or if it specifies melee range. Because I did not think about how they handle reach in this one.
It should be probably within reach. So, if that's the case...
It
then, you know...
definitely attacked you from there.
Okay, so then, yeah. I just go back a bit.
Alright, so as you do, it's going to take its reaction. Swiping out at you, but as you're definitely just kind of jumping, hopping back just to kind of get out of its reach, it doesn't even come close to you. Slow telegraphed movements.
That should be good. Oh, and I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna see if I perceive this wolf bounding in.
Alright,
Okay.
it's Karth's turn.
Did I see the big old wolf coming through here?
Oh yeah, yep. Sorry.
Okay. I'm gonna be warning her about the steps then.
So, while looking down at the rubble, I say, guys, this is definitely some form of magic. And then I look up and see the rapier. I'm like, oh, hi. And I just sort of ask to point the way.
How how pointed at Karth is the rapier, I guess would be a... He's so inattentive. He's gonna be examining the rubble and look up. Is there a rapier pointed directly in his face? Yep, it's in his face.
Was that first Fane points? Was that Fane pointing like towards the exit?
So rapier's in your face, and she's pointing off towards the tunnel with her free hand.
I take the situation with a bit of humor, and it's still better than being with a cultist. I'm going to just make my way to the tunnel. Not exactly sure how far I can move here.
Yeah, you're not hindered by the tunnel at all, like the direwolf is. So you can move your full 6 squares, and it kind of gets dodgy around the weird curves and corners. So we just kind of best guess.
Well, a 6 would put me somewhere about here.
That'd be 5, so you can get one more. One more. You can take diagonals just as the diagonals cost no more than a regular lateral movement. So. I miscounted. Yeah, because you were in front of the tunnel. It doesn't matter. That's fine. Laurel sees nothing, hears nothing. He's just meditating. For the time being. Alright, Morn, you're up.
Alright. Alright, I'm gonna engage Tiax in conversation. I'm gonna ask Tiax what the hell's going on.
Big mushrooms, scary mushrooms. Kill the mushrooms.
Where are the mushrooms?
Over there, over to the ledge. Watch out for the steps.
Is that what we heard earlier?
Is what
Possibly.
I didn't hear anything.
Oh, never mind. You weren't asking a question to me, you were actually asking a question.
Yeah, I was actually asking Tiax a question. And he's a ditz and doesn't understand the loud noise that disturbs me. Got it.
Listen, the adventuring stuff's new to him. He hit something with his crossbow. He's excited.
I'm also a little bit scared.
He just picked it up off some old guy in the cart. He didn't think it would work.
The part of your arm is burning. As you look down, you can kind of see how it's all kind of cracked, as though it's extreme psoriasis.
Has anyone got some gold bond?
Okay. Well, I can't move anymore, so I'm gonna just take a.
Oh, Dread, you don't.
Is that your 40 feet?
Oh shit! No, 40 feet. Yeah, 40 feet.
There you go.
Dread,
Yeah.
you know what? I've been missing out on my halfling ability all last run. Because all those ones I rolled should not have been, or should have been re-rolled.
Oh yeah.
Oh, halfling luck on a.
Oh.
On a 1.
How often can you do
Jesus.
that?
Halflings do it every one for an ability check, attack roll, or
That's
So
right.
you can never critically fail.
saving throw.
But you can critically fail if you roll a second one.
Yes, it's always a second.
Okay.
If you roll
And
one, then you can.
saving throws, I don't think is counted on those.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes. Yep. Says saving throws. Attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws.
Wow, that's really strong.
That's powerful as shit.
And anyways, continue.
Well,
I would have man.
roll a perception and see if I can see these.
All the goddamn things I would have said to Josh after that.
Over the ledge.
Yeah, you see the 4 very large mushrooms over there, but as they have come back to a rest and aren't currently moving, they look like 4 large mushrooms to you. They don't look like creatures or anything to be scared of, just really big mushrooms. The same ones you saw last time you looked down. Although, roll a wisdom to see if you can see that they're in slightly different position. Just a straight up wisdom check.
Oh yeah, I was like, damn, that's not a skill.
It'll be off your main page there. Ooh.
Nice.
Yeah, you can see that at least that they have moved a couple of feet from where you last remember them being. But they still look to be, they still look indistinguishable from regular mushrooms to you. But you can you definitely know they've moved. But they're not where they were before.
Or just it's like this guy's an idiot.
Alright, good.
Why did you touch me?
You gonna do
All
anything
right,
else
now
on
my
your turn?
turn. I will take. dodge steps. Oh, do it to me.
Okay.
There we go. And then turn. I don't know what these mushrooms can do. Apparently, they're just sitting there.
Oh,
Would I
well.
know anything about these? Are these like natural creatures?
Now that you've heard a little bit about the giant mushrooms, where they were originally, they look like giant mushrooms, but you weren't able to get close enough to get an inspection. So go ahead and roll with the new knowledge that they've moved, and that they have somewhat attacked him. See if you, because they are natural creatures, something that you would know from natural history. Yeah, these particularly, it didn't occur to you at first that the large mushrooms mixed in with the actual food stock could be something else. But now with the extra knowledge, you know that these are in fact violet fungus, which is a plant monster that attacks with their touch is a rotting touch, and their body can slightly be can have some amorphous capabilities to allow them to grow appendages that reach out to as far as 10 feet, depending on the size of the actual fungus itself. And the really big ones like these can reach a full 10 feet.
Is it just their appendages that are necrotic, or like their bodies as well?
Just the appendages that they can create. So it's essentially that, and their actual the gills of their spores themselves. So essentially what they're doing is they're pulling off the necrotic spores, and then they attack you with the spores on the appendages. That's kind of how that works. So naturally, just the trunk, the stalk of the actual mushroom itself is not just laced with this rotting essence, but unless it's covered with its spores. And so, like when they shimmied, what they were doing, they were shaking the spores onto themselves, letting the dust fall, but also getting the spore on the appendages as they go out to attack with it.
Okay, I have an idea, but
Okay.
I'm not sure how it's gonna work.
Well, you can surely try it.
I can surely try it. Okay, so I have 50-foot movement. If I go just like running full speed at these things, slide down the ramp, and like go bowling for mushrooms, because I'm very big,
Uh-huh.
would I be able to either knock them prone or do damage to them that way?
You imagine that you could do some kind of... I mean, this is not a kind of
This is like a
trained...
trinket cannonball.
Yeah, this is not really much of a trained, like, attack stance that you might have, so it might not be overly effective, as far as that goes, but yeah, you can definitely bludgeon someone, like if, like when Laurel was using his shield to knock someone back against the wall. If they hit the wall, they took a little bit of bludgeoning damage from the impact. That could be, that essentially could be possible as well, if you were to do that.
I'm gonna try it. I'm just gonna throw myself at them, basically.
Okay, so are you gonna try to slide off of the like slide down the stairs, or are you gonna just leap?
What could I get more speed with?
Well, technically,
I'm gonna
there's
slide.
more friction off a slide than there is. I mean, if you were to get from physics definition in there, but
Yeah. I think I'm gonna slide, because then at least I don't get any fall damage, too.
okay, yeah. Now, what are you gonna try to bludgeon them with? Like, because you're not armored.
My shoulder.
So you're just gonna kind of like
Body
slide
check
and then kind of turn your body lengthwise to try to hit two at once is kind of the idea.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's see what happens. For the sliding part, you'll definitely need some kind of acrobatics. So let's see. Let's see how it goes. Giant sliding direwolf on the stairs. Dogs on ice. thinking about some YouTube videos right now.
Do I use my wolf dex for that?
Yeah, you would. Here, let me. Roll. Just roll with a +2.
I think is that a save?
It's the same for both. It's the same for both.
Okay. So that's a 15.
Yeah. You managed to, look really awkward while doing it, but stay kind of upright as you're just kind of sliding and pawing and just every little bit trying to counterbalance as right at the end you kind of turn your body sideways, crashing into the two fungus. Roll a d6 for each. Violet Fungus 1 is first. So roll a d6 and I will apply that damage to it directly. Okay, and then Violet Fungus 4, roll a d6 for it. Okay, actually, shoot, I should have had you do. As we're getting momentum involved with the crash, I'll say, is your strength a part of this or not? I think it's the actual impact and not your actual strength that we're dealing with here.
Do I get like a weight bonus?
Cannonball!
Actually, because of the distance, yeah, so we'll say that both of those, so we'll do 2d6 on the next one. So that will be 7 points to the first one. And then roll 2d6, and then I'll apply it to the second one. Yeah, because that is a lot. There's got to be, I don't know that there's any rules for that. I was trying to think about just using the falling damage rules.
What's she using? I'll look it up for you.
And you will take 2 points of bludgeoning damage for the actual repercussions to yourself.
Okay.
And I applied that.
Totally worth it.
Yeah. Technically that was movement.
Yes! I get to bite them too?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Which one?
It's really hard to, with the limited view, to kind of get a idea of what kind of condition they're in. But, you definitely hit Violet 1 with more of the brunt of the impact. So you might be, as you kind of turn your body sideways, your mouth might be more on its side anyway, if that gives you any.
Okay. That works for me.
You kind of you turn your backside counterclockwise, essentially, to crash on your right side, crashed into them.
Part of me just thinking like a Eddie Guerrero 5-star frog splash.
Holy crap, that hit him?
It did.
John Cena.
Clicking buttons. Sorry, that was actually. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it did. I was surprised too, but it did.
Cool.
So as you crash into it, and then take a bite out of its stalk right across the middle. I mean, it's just like a lumberjack felling. It's not as hard as wood, so biting into the kind of soft mushroomy body takes a large chunk out of the middle, and then it just kind of falls over right in half at that point where you had taken the bite out, crashing down in the back. And then you can see spores fall out of it behind it onto the ground. And then as they fall and hit the ground, then they start to dissipate.
Okay, that was fun. You'll have to advance my turn again.
Move over and then use your action to scratch it in the ground. That's great. That's great. I approve. Now, that's something that I think would be trivial for you with your background and skills.
I keep forgetting.
What do you forget?
Oh, she doesn't have a voice right now.
Yep. Sick and still with us. We appreciate it.
A real trooper.
So Fungus 3, so you crash into 4 and 1, and you bite essentially Fungus 1 in half, and then 3 off to, kind of behind you, you can see shimmy and release spores onto its body as the appendages come out. And from the current position, they elongate. You see 3 appendages come off of the actual fungus monster itself. All 3 lashy. So it lashes out at your backside as you're kind of preoccupied with biting one of its allies in half, and kind of essentially slaps you across the backside. One of them hitting a particularly sensitive area in the rear. And as it does, you can feel that necrotic of the spores seeping into the skin and drying them and making them crack, and your skin tightens and begins to break a little in the places where it touched you. You feel a small trickle as the lymphatic and a little bit of blood starts pouring out of the area around where it just touched you. It's Tiax's turn.
There you go, up to the ledge and fire a crossbow down.
Enemies that even Tiax can hit.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I actually can't miss them. Well, unless I roll 2 ones in a row. Where's my sneak?
Okay, so now I just want to make some clarification about that other thing. It still affects you if you have any temporary hit points, or only the temporary hit points from the other ability. How does, now that you gain the Dark One's Blessing temporary hit points, does that reactivate your Agatha's?
It shouldn't.
Should not.
If yada yada.
Does it dissipate when the temporary hit points are gone, or is there still a buff there? Also, I guess.
It might still be there, but it says if a creature hits you with a melee attack while you have these hit points, these temporary hit points, the creature takes 5 cold damage. So, but I think it's only the 5 that were granted by the spell, so I'm gonna say no, it's not there anymore.
Yeah, that's what that's what I was thinking. Is that a cantrip? What is that?
That's a first level spell.
Okay. It would seem more in line with the power of a first level spell, I think, if it was just with the 5 applied.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay. You can see the fungus in the background now shimmy as it moves forward. You can see that it releases spores on its body. On this one, only one appendage comes out. One large appendage from its left side comes out to essentially going to almost stab at you from the side here. Makes pretty solid contact. And you can feel this one now also break open into large rotting flesh on your side as you can see it discolors heavily and blood begins to seep out of the side of it. Fungus 4 is going to create 4 appendages out of its body. It's going to shimmy its head a little to shake spores on them and lash out with all 4 of the...
4?
With all 4 of the appendages.
Which one's doing that? Fungus 4?
You can see it have a little some difficulty in trying to actually lash out with. Shoot, I didn't see how much exceeds hit points by 5. Okay, so it has difficulty controlling all 4 as it lashes out. It just kind of wildly flails, flailing but in its close proximity, since it just kind of shoots them at you. It's hard to kind of dodge out of the way of them as 2 of them still land on your side, piercing in, and with a howl, your wolf shape collapses, and as part of the collapsing, you revert back to your human form with 5 hit points of damage leaking through onto your physical form.
Mm-hmm.
Wait
a minute.
I thought Fungus 4 was dying.
I may have made a whoopsie there. Is Fungus 4 the one that actually died?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Fungus 4 is dead.
Oh, well, let me
1 and 4.
undo, retcon some things. I just totally missed that. I thought I removed it. I guess I did not.
I was like, was it doing like some death explosion going on here with tentacles? Jeez.
Let's see. Okay, so it did 36. So you were only at okay. You're back at 6 health. Here, let me fix it. Sorry about that.
That's
It
okay.
does not do those things, as it is dead. And
Nice save.
And as we often know, most dead things don't attack unless they become undead, in which case we have to re-dead the undead. Alright, it is Karth's turn.
Yeah, I'm just trying to catch up with the group.
Okay, so you use your movement. You can also use your action to dash, which allows you to move. So for your actions time, allows you to move your movement speed again.
Yeah, I would like to do. Do I gotta roll anything for that, or just
No, that is just one of the actions that you can take, which is
so that gives me another $6? Yeah, I'd like to do that. And I just kind of look around. What do I see from where I made it to?
So you've got an easy survey of the top of the room. Morn has a torch, so it's well lit up here up on the top where this plateau is. You can barely see little bits of the direwolf on just the edge of what was steps is now you can just barely see like the top where the top one step was now looks like a smooth decline. You can just barely see across the angle there, just the back haunches of the actual direwolf down below. You cannot from this vantage point see beyond that down there.
Okay.
Whoop whoop. My turn. Alright. I just got shut up by a direwolf, man. I gotta go fuck some shit up.
Alright.
I'm gonna squeeze in right next to her.
Okay.
Against the wall here. And their name's not showing up when I mouse over them. It's kind of weird.
Their names should be showed up at the top of them. If you scroll in, you should be able to see the names on their
Oh, I
top.
don't. Yeah, there's no names on them.
Nope.
You guys don't see like what I see?
Nope. We just see a little circle with their health, little circle at the bottom right, and that's it. Their icon and a little health circle. Oval.
Oh, that's
thing.
strange. Like
Yeah.
for those that are looking at this, if you look at the actual stream side of things, they've got like a little title bar.
Huh.
Yeah, I only see that over my token.
Oh, okay. Well, let me see why that's not doing that. While you go ahead and continue to do your thing. That's Fungus 3 is what's in front of you there. Morn?
Yay! Whammy. Oh, I didn't kill it. Damn it. Well, I'm gonna smack it with my torch.
Use the
Hello.
torch as a club.
Yep. Bam. Loved him. That will proc my touch of death. Because
Okay, I'll make sure I remove this one.
trying to kill me. I'm like, what'd you do? Alright,
You
and
do
it
still
is-
have a couple of feet of movement left. If
No, this is my max. Oh yeah, 40 feet. Yeah.
40, you've got 2 squares left. Yep.
And I'm going to take a step back.
No.
What? No, don't know me.
No, sorry, never mind. I
Just
say
watch
nothing.
you get your butt kicked. You're bigger than me.
Watch you go. "Arr, arr."
Now you're comparing it to a house dog? Oh, she's got to be offended. Direwolf pride, and that's the end of my turn. I have to remember to pick up some darts next time we're in town. There's some crossbow bolts and chuck them. I'm just trying to give you the privilege of killing the last one. I mean, you're doing so well already.
Can you hover over them and see that title now?
Yes.
Yes.
Are these creatures?
They are creatures. Yep.
So he needs to make a DC 13 strength saving throw or be knocked prone if the mushroom can be knocked prone.
They're top heavy, right?
I would think so.
These could be Disney movie mushrooms, alright? Can't remember what movie they were moving mushrooms in, but they existed.
They are not immune to prone.
Timber!
Alright, what was the DC on that again? Actually, hold up.
13
13
strength.
versus strength. Oh yeah, no, he's prone.
Way to have confidence in your mobs, Drad.
I had
And then
to
I'm
look
gonna
and
use
see.
my.
They have very low. Actually, I think you can do if you can. Let me see if it just works. Yeah, so you can actually take off of your attack line there the save versus strength 13 effect. If you click on it and then drag it over to them, it will apply. It actually
Oh.
will apply it, and then it'll tell me if it's success or failure automatically.
Oh, that's handy.
Mhm.
Okay, I didn't know I could do that. And then for my bonus action, I'm going to use my combat wild shape heal at 2nd level.
Okay. And your that expends spell slot to how does that work exactly? Just
Yep, it uses a spell slot.
to heal you for D.
Yep, at 2nd level this is 2d8.
Yeah, 2d8. Yeah.
Oh, crap.
Yep, I got it. 7.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And I think... that's it.
Okay. Yep, I think you can actually make it one more square if you finagle the corners just right. And so go ahead and roll your perception.
Nice.
A very wary. You see at this point, you and Karth kind of run into the room right behind each other as you've kind of come your way through the tunnels. You see Tiax positioned up over the ledge, pointing down with its crossbow, aimed at what's below. From this vantage point, you're just a hair further back. You can't quite see the dire wolf down there, but you do see those stairs and how they like seems to be they have collapsed and created some kind of ramp or slide, and you imagine that was the source of the chaos that everyone dashed off for what the other people had heard was that collapse itself. Yeah, and you can't quite see more as he's around the corner and down. Alright, and that makes it Tiax's turn.
Guess I'll make an attack.
You did not critically fail twice in a row, therefore you hit. That is so
That
cool.
looked like it was disadvantage, right? So no sneaks. Okay.
What's that? Oh yeah, because it's on its disadvantage, but you still has, it's still within 5 feet of an ally, so it still meets one of the conditions, which is all it needs to meet for the
Okay.
sneak attack. Yeah, it's because it's an or there. Either have advantage or it'd be within
Okay.
5 feet.
Yeah, disadvantage against a prone target, really?
Yeah,
Ranged attack.
From a ranged attack, you do. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Well, think about it. If you're prone, like why do like when people
Yeah,
are
you're a
shooting,
harder target.
yeah, the whole when
Yeah.
people let loose fire, you're supposed to hit the deck because it's harder to
I didn't
hit.
think about that. That's nice to know.
Winner.
Yay.
All right, and so those in the back can kind of see TX fire another crossbow bolt down, and when it lands, so those up front can see that it actually punctures the top of the spores and what the mushroom cap that's holding the spores, and as it does, it kind of deflates like with a kind of like a shuddering sigh as it releases the spores harmlessly to the ground, and with that, it kind of deflates, falls. Those in the back can see, a very well sigh of relief and the tension loss from TX as the bolt lands. And with that, we are technically out of initiative.
Blah, 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 blah.
I'm gonna check for any more of those.
Okay.
Make sure the rest are all eating mushrooms.
Go ahead and now that you've had the opportunity, do a investigation roll for that.
I'm going to pull out my lyre and go blah 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 blah, and then carry on with that whole theme as well.
As you deliberately try to get the YouTube version of this copyright infringed upon.
Okay, I'll go on a minor key or something like that then.
Yeah, make sure you're not replicating with exact. Yeah, just go minor. Lower it an octave, raise it an octave, something.
Oh, not an octave. That's still.
Well, that still counts, doesn't it? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
Well, go on a minor though, like.
So I'm looking down into this place. Am I detecting any magic, any mojo going on?
No, you do not actually. The only sparks from your detect magic across, especially as you come all the way back now, out through into this open room. The only ones that you've seen were of the actual around the tunnel itself.
You might see some magic on me and Morn though, from our temporary hit points.
Oh yeah, that's true. Morin also has the abjuration effect on him from Laurel.
Appreciative.
Alright, Fang, go ahead and do it in the dice tower so that it doesn't get... Okay, well, that's fine. It doesn't matter. For some things that are intended to be hidden.
If she's doing something, I would passively see that. My perception is 12.
Yep. As you, I think, in this particular case, Karth rolled perception.
One second.
Yeah, the actual, oh, nope, you don't know shit. You don't know shit.
Just staring down this cavern.
So, we're gonna ask the riddle that you know nothing about, but I'm gonna have you divulge the information. What's in your pockets? Might have a couple of coins.
Check my pockets.
I guess I wouldn't refer to him as Karth. I would refer to him as Hey Newbie or Hey New Guy.
Yeah, so you guys still don't know
What's up,
anything
dude?
about this person yet. I mean, just kind of rolling with the punches thus far. There was some suspicion starting to come out, and then crashing happened, and now everyone just come to a stop, and everyone gets this breather now. So
Yeah, I don't know how I'm checking my pockets.
I was gonna say essentially, what's happening is someone's putting their hands in your pockets that you don't notice. And so, what do they find in your pocket? Was the nothing that would have been put there by cultists or anything like that. So whatever you was carrying on you at the time. So let's see your inventory.
He's asking, what would your character have in his pockets?
Do you keep any papers or love notes or
Money.
money in your?
No, I've done the basic thing the God told me to put on. Nothing has happened to me that I know of since then. But if someone else's hand's in my pocket, perhaps you should check their hand.
There is currently a hand in my pocket.
What's in your pockets? A hand. Duh.
He has empty pockets because. Oh, wait, you're in one of their robes, aren't you? Yeah. No, he's not.
So everyone
Yeah.
started with the 2 healing potions, the 280 gold. Your hermit started with 5 gold. So you do, you would definitely find attached at the belt a coin purse and then a couple of easy access healing potions. It's not keeping any, it's not like a wallet with an ID card in it or anything, as far as that goes. But you don't see anything, in the pockets beyond that, the backpack. might contain things.
So my perception was low. Am I aware of anything that's going on?
Yep.
Aside
Yeah.
from,
No.
You have no idea.
yeah, but someone said something.
Yeah. So when Karth says out loud, "Mind your pockets," Thane, are you going to continue to try to root out more information, or is his saying that going? Yeah, I figured basically it would be the innocent. He calls out, and then since you're so particularly imperceptive here, she's essentially you're going to mind my pockets. You're going to look down, and everything's going to be fine. And you're like, what do you mean, mind my pockets?
When I say mind your pockets, it's gonna be still part of my victory song, like da 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 da. Hey, new guy, mind your pockets. Yes, I'm still kind of in my victory.
Yeah, and so with only the faint cursory inspection, we would find some of the more obvious things. Self, but no identifying artifacts or papers or anything like that.
If I'm satisfied that there's no immediate danger here,
Oh yeah, shoot,
I'm
I
going
missed the
to.
investigation.
14.
Is it 14?
14. Yeah, you're pretty confident that what is left is regular mushrooms.
Okay, then I'm gonna turn back, looking up at Karth. And if anybody tries to go past me, I'm gonna block them again.
Okay.
So, what brings you guys to this cave? It's just out for a little picnic?
Yeah, I dropped my cheese and my cheese roll and it rolled down in here. Yeah.
I'm gonna boldly say we're on an adventure.
Thumb to chest.
Adventure, eh? Pick a fight with the cultist often.
Well, I mean, those are funny looking cultists. Those are mushrooms. So, can you not see straight in the dark?
They were cultists just a few moments ago. I
Oh,
just got here. I
those
don't
guys.
know what you were doing down there.
As far as you know, he was hacking at vegetation, and that's kind of what it looks like in the scene below. Is very large mushrooms that were felled like trees.
Yeah, so we were here. We were hired. You know what? The druid has a better speech than this. Alright, but you can't talk. Okay, great. We're hired, and we're supposed to do something. It's in my notes somewhere. I'm just gonna rumble through my little pockets, and because I wrote this down somewhere. Hired to get the eggs.
Who hired you?
I gotta go. This is more like when I say notes. This is more like a Rolodex of papers. Leos and some monk dude. And then I'm gonna, when I say monk dude, I'm gonna like go all martial arts and maybe strike a crane pose.
Well, it is a funny story to how I got here. It's definitely not my finest hour, but it wasn't my worst. I was drunk. Because why not? I had a good job. Big payment. Sorry, I'm reading the GM thing.
Yeah, you can feel free to continue your story and go back and look at that a little bit later, because that'll it's just character knowledge that'll come through as what you might be able to say or things that you've overheard while you were here.
I finished the job. I had gold in my pocket. I was just ready to celebrate. I like to celebrate. Uh, just hopping from tavern to tavern. Um, it was late or early, depending on your point of view. Uh, just because the sun was coming up, it didn't mean my night had to end. Vision was blurred, my judgment was poor at that point, but my wit was singing. Um, I saw a place that seemed to still be open. Strange draconic writing. It seemed to say the busty dragon. I didn't second guess this. Perhaps I should have. But I felt it was a place I should have explored. I go in. It was dimly lit, but I did see one thing. Oh, she caught my eye. Red hair, the color of the rising sun. I say something in Draconic. I forget what, a little poem or something. Nothing loosens the quiver like the dragon tongue. You know what I mean. This did get a lot of attention from the room. Not what I expected, angry mumbles. And now I pay attention to the room. Several robed figures around me. They're all wearing the same robe, and that's never a good sign. Get him! He'll be our offering! He shall be devoured! It's like that escalated quickly. I give my war cry. I move my arms. I'm going to attack. I'm going to get out of here. Scorching ray right through the middle of them. I'm going to make a break through the door. And then, as I ready to cast my spell, every candle in the room lit up. Not what I intended. That was the last thing I saw before a blunt object met the back of my head. I woke up to a dream. I was dreaming of a sunrise. I felt the warm sun against my face, and I woke up bound and gagged next to a fire. I'm not sure how long I was there before I heard a commotion in the other room, which was you guys. There were a lot of talk about the cultist. They talked about eggs. They mentioned they were soon to soon to hatch. There were many, and I did not expect to make it out.
I perk up when he mentions the eggs, and I walk over to him and start sniffing.
A little invasive now, are we?
Originally, a Waterdeep. I was in Baldur's Gate the last I remember. I'm not sure where I am now, except in a cave.
Are you slipping, sliding all over this ramp? Right? Is that what's going on there? Woo.
Myself, if at all possible, my friendly shadow.
So, not the cultist?
No, the people who had me bound to gag. No, not them. Not the friendliest bunch.
Oh, you
Little
sound like a
narrow-minded.
swell guy then.
You said there was 2 paths down here, right?
Yep.
Essentially, yeah. There's the rightmost path, and that doesn't look nearly as well traveled, and then the leftmost path that goes around the outskirts of kind of like little farm ground there.
I want to sniff them and see if one smells more like kobold than the other.
The left definitely, you're smelling lots of that faint dragonkin kobold, as well as human smell. That seems to go more the other direction. The right path doesn't actually smell like either of those. In fact, it smells more like the actual mushrooms. Part of your nature roll from earlier, now that you've had a little bit of a breather, you kind of know that these violet fungus, they don't move too much. But what they often do is just as creatures is typically to tend other fungus around them. That's often what they do. So,
Oh, so they were the farmers.
essentially. It's like the mushroom version of a treant, essentially.
Well, if you're up for it, we're gonna go get those eggs. And we could use some help. Probably. Just mind your pockets.
My day is free.
Technically, a lot more free than it was a minute ago. In many
Indeed.
senses of the word.
I do not know the fate I would have suffered. I will follow you. I will lend my assistance.
I want to start slowly following this path to the left.
Yep. I'd be directing people to the left side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, now that we're aware of the ramp going down it, it's a little bit it's the difficult, but that it's not the surprise underneath. People can make it kind of down just slowly to the other side and start moving away to the left. There are, let it be known that there are mushrooms throughout, definitely in spots along the walls and things like that, but not nearly like the actual farm that was going on across the middle of the room.
I said go to the left there, but okay, do your thing.
Woof! Woof!
I mean, Direwolf can't really pick a side.
I'm not quite as acrobatic as some of the people who went down this way. I'm just staring down this and looking for the safest path for me to come down.
Yeah, it'll be mostly along the outer edge that you're on right there, along down. It's mostly, it's almost more like a kind of a climbing thing at this point. And since we're not in any kind of threatened thing, you can just climb your way down without any kind of roll.
We want to say that good friend there, the paladin, is just walking slowly towards us, chanting stuff, so we don't leave him back there 30 million yards away.
No, he's
No, he's meditating.
He's meditating and praying, so he's going to be
Okay.
involved in that for at least several minutes.
Okay.
And then when he finishes, he'll follow.
I'm gonna roll a perception check, see if I.
Nope.
Never mind. To see if I did nothing.
Notice that I'm breathing.
Am I breathing?
So you can see that you're kind of surrounded in the mushrooms here, and you find it very difficult to kind of see around them. Like it's almost like a small forest off to your side that's very dense, and so you've got a little glimmer just barely along the edge of the wall that you can see as up in front of you the path kind of begins to turn.
I'm gonna go stealthy. And I should be able to see fairly far.
Just at the very edge of your vision range, from to the east, you can see as a small tunnel goes down and to the right, and you can see that this out in front of you is a large, expansive cave. As you move towards this end of the tunnel, the ceiling begins to raise higher and higher. It's been just over 10 feet. Throughout, except for the small little tunnel bits that you're in, where it was much smaller, just under 8 feet. It's been just over 10 feet everywhere else. Now that you come down the stairs, the ceiling has stayed the same spot, but now this is 10-foot recessed. So in the room you're in, it's at the beginning started as 20, and right here, as you get into this little bottleneck, it starts to open up higher and higher, 30 feet up at least. In fact, you see you're kind of getting this perception around you. You also hear the occasional bat fly across the ceiling, maybe out towards the tunnel entrance. You can also, but at this point you don't hear much else.
Bats. Okay, so if I hear bats, I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, can I see the bats?
Yeah, so as you come around the bend is where it kind of bottlenecks and the cavern starts to open up. You see across the top, you see an entire sea of bats. You actually find it difficult to actually see ceiling because of the number of bats. And because of that, along the edges of the walls, there are across the where the actual image of the map is dark. It's dark for a reason. For bats being overhead. There's quite a bit of cleaned out pathway. The brighter the map, the more cleaned out it looks. At the moment, the ceiling is carpeted with bats. The bats seem to be mostly inactive, sleeping, something of the like.
Could I hush the party to move very quietly?
You can certainly try.
Alright. I'm going to hush the party.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of point out the idea that you're pointing out the bats overhead.
Yeah, I'm gonna, flap my arms a little bit and point upwards and then make a little sleepy face. And then kind of do a tiptoe sneaky back and forth.
Try to act out
Yeah.
the being silent. But
Yeah.
it may come off more looking like a creeper than being than silent.
Do the creep.
Yeah, exactly what I was thinking. But I think everyone would get the general gist. Pointing up and then making the hushing noise and then the slight stalking movement look as you over exaggerate those movements as you then take your stealth and begin creeping forward. Let's see, I know Tiax is trying to be stealthy. He rolled that. Fane is as well. Okay.
I'm holding a damn torch.
Right, so you're not likely to be hidden, but you can still try to be stealthy.
Seems like the noise is what would be bad.
Yeah, so you're not going to be able to be hidden, but you're making rather quiet movements.
Not kicking rocks.
You're not particularly kicking rocks or clinking metal armor together at the moment, anything like that. But
Can't do that
is
anymore.
everyone going to be try to be stealthy? Is that something?
I will.
Okay.
At least quiet. But I'm kind of curious if I can see the bats. Would I notice anything unusual about them? Like, is it normal that there would be this many bats in a cave, like, that's trafficked by people?
It's probably not the most common occurrence. It's likely the bats roosted here first. It doesn't seem to be, and they have not found another place to be, and there's, they've probably not been bothered too much as well. So it's not out of the. It doesn't make the most sense that for a long-term kind of thing that this would be established that they would still want to be here. But at the moment, for a short-term thing, that's not too unusual.
And can I tell if these are, like, fruit and insect eating bats, or if they would eat people?
The bats that you can see are standard, are your regular small insect bats, mostly. It's mostly what they would diet on.
Okay. Oh wait, would that be wolf dex?
It sure would, yeah.
Oh, although the modifier's the same, so it doesn't matter.
No,
Okay.
because he's not proficient with it any more than you are.
Wait, no, it does say stealth +4.
Oh, it does it? Are they actually proficient? I don't guess that maybe
Yeah.
I guess that would make sense.
Probably would be. Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Stealthy wolf.
Mm-hmm. And then Karth would be the only one left that has not yet done so. Not particularly stealthy, naturally speaking, but holding your own. Trying not to kick rocks and
I definitely want to study these bats as I'm walking through too.
Yeah, me too. Can I investigate them from up here? Or from down here?
You investigating the bats specifically? Sure.
Yes. Huzzah! Oh, I thought that was a sin. Oh.
So, I mean, you're trying to carefully note up above. It is, even with the light, it's still difficult to see any details other than just the small bat movement. As you kind of look around, you do see a handful of dead bats that litter the floor in a couple of places.
Could I go and look at one of those dead bats?
Me too.
Okay.
And how does it look like? Can I see like any injuries or what kind of dead? Like decapitated?
Or sick.
Sick.
Roll a medicine check. I think that's probably the most likely thing. You're kind of looking at the dead bats and kind of ascertain, what kind of wounds caused the death, or was it sickness? You spot no notice of disease, or something like that that would be not at least apparent. It does seem to be that the bat's skin across its body is slightly loose compared to what would normally be real taut, leathery skin across its wings and body. The skin seems to be loose, and it seems to have a large puncture wound directly in its side of its main body area.
Thinking two things right now, and one of them things was because Courtney just said it. I'm thinking either spiders or sturges. Spider on a bat, or I don't know. Sturge on a bat. They're both cave dwelling. I don't know. I'm gonna be very wary now.
Can I smell anything other than bats in here?
You can try. There is the actual. There is a bit of a problem dealing with a lot of keen scent due to the sheer amount of bat droppings that are and the distance up to the bats themselves. You definitely get that musty smell of the cave. You can smell where a lot of things have trafficked across the ground through along the really lighter colored path that is here. And you definitely get the smell of bats, but it's even with your keen sense, and you're getting a really good sense of the room. It's still the other senses are too overwhelming to get anything else.
Okay.
Can I cast minor illusion? Actually, first of all, do I know what sturges and I think I know what spiders look like, but do I know what sturges look like? Are those common enough that I would know what they.
Where were you from again? Are you from this far south? You're from Baldur's Gate?
No,
No, you're from Neverwinter,
I was.
right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, sturges are definitely more common across the middle of the Sword Coast.
Okay, so what I want to do is cast a little minor illusion in my hand, um, flickering in between spiders and sturges, like a projected image in my hand.
For your minor illusion.
Minor illusion cantrip.
You can only get like a ghostly. Yeah, I guess that's.
I can create a sound or an image of an object within range. That lasts for a minute.
Yep.
Okay. So I want to flash that image to people. And reaffirm the whole silent thing. I can't think of anything else. I don't think I can think of anything else that would be cave dwelling and would suck or puncture bats. Most everything else I would think of that would feast on bats would, just eat the friggin' bat.
Yeah, it's like if you took a very large bat and bred it with a mosquito, you would get what a sturge would be. All right, so everyone's going to kind of creep forward. As we make our way, for one movement into the room here. Everyone roll another. Everyone roll another stealth check. Oh yeah,
Those are good answers.
As a party, you are being very stealthy overall. Might also be
Can I
good
get
that
some more
Laurel's
vision?
actually not here. Yeah, we've got to answer something. Fane, you would definitely. Sturges are a common enough nuisance out in the wild that people have at least heard of them. Not everyone has maybe seen one, but they're something that people know to be wary of in the wild itself. And the spider definitely could see that.
Whereabouts is the path going through here anyway? Okay, thank you. Several of them.
Well, it's kind of like between the lines. I mean, just following kind of the bright area, it seems to be kind of cleared out for the most part.
Right, okay.
Towards the back, you can see those ledges as they, and then there's like a 10-foot tall ledge, and then like a little plateau, and then you can just barely see another 10-foot ledge along the back of it. and you can see that a lot of trash, just actual trash, has been piled up back in that area.
Alright, what can I see from here?
Just a second here. Yeah, so as part of that trash that you see in the back, you see things that normal sorts of refuse such as broken pottery, rotted baskets, mouse-chewed rope, thrown out items that appear to be useful from a distance, discarded clothes, worn boots, tattered books, cracked lamps, and so forth.
I'd like to look at the books.
User joined your channel.
Oh no, it's the not stealthy guy.
Back down the tunnel we hear clang, 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 clang.
There goes the stealth, everybody. We can no longer say it's my armor smashing into walls, giving us away. I don't have any.
Yeah, so it is important to note, okay, the trash that's piled up is piled up on that first ledge. So it's not down at the bottom in this cave area. It's actually, you'd have to climb up to where the trash has been thrown. But yeah, you can, from this vantage point, you can see that they have thrown all kinds of stuff up there.
Dirty bastard.
Oh wait, I read that backwards. It's not up, that's down. That makes a lot more sense. I was like, why would they throw something 10 feet in the air? That doesn't make any sense. But that and then I read it again and actually looked at the picture a little closely. That is a pit, not a ledge that goes up.
Okay.
I'm gonna be looking around, so I'm hoping to get more vision here. Get that mass tool going.
I hope someone's connecting, so it's all.
Oh.
Lagged out.
Howdy, Josh.
How's the drive, buddy?
There.
You made it before halftime.
Does this still just smell like bats, or is there anything else now that we're sort of past? Are we past where they all were?
They're all
still in this.
Yeah, they're still all up above you here. So I'm gonna.
Oh, okay.
So there's still several things I have to resolve as a part of all of this. So roll. Go ahead and roll one more set of stealth checks and moving into this forward position. Okay, yeah. So you're definitely, as things started to open up, started scuffling a lot more as you started thinking less about the bats and more about what might be coming up ahead, and looking off at the refuse and things like that. And as part of that, you start making a little bit more noise, and you can kind of see the bats start to rustle a little bit as part of that noise is being made. But at the moment, they have not moved or actually changed much. But you can actually visibly hear as some fluttering begins to start happening above you. And with that, yeah, I think we will actually be taking our intermission, because I have to resolve several things at once during the intermission, for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and...
Let's all go to the lobby.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and pause our stream here, do a little blip, and then bring it back just so that it cuts the video in half for us. And so let's call 15 minutes. And so 420.
Woot.
Okay.